Hello, Steve Mills here, and welcome to the Results Mastery podcast. It's great to be back. I've not actually been on here. Do you know what? I've had a really weird week. I changed things over from I used to use and host my podcast on a website called Spreaker, and I'm now on Buzzsprout, which I believe is one of the top podcast hosting sites. Certainly from what I've seen so far, I really recommend it. It's really good and it's really simple, which is really important for me. But it's great to be here. I apologize a little bit for any confusion that the changeovers created, and I also apologize for my voice. And lastly, for not being here, I've not done as many podcasts recently as I would like. And the reason being is I'm all bunged up. I've got a bit of cold and a bit of flu or whatever, and not feeling great, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. So I thought I'd take the bull by the horns and do a podcast. So it's great to be here. Now, today I thought I'd share with you 5 tips, 5 really powerful things that if you implement could make a massive difference to your business. Now, I'm sure you've heard that many times, by many different people. But, do you know what? I really believe this is true. If you implement what I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes, it will have a dramatic, I don't mean like a little bit, it'll have a dramatic effect on your business over the next 12 months. And right now I'm recording this, I'm live recording it on the 10th of December 2024. We're looking forward, no doubt, most of us anyway, to Christmas. And then we've got the big new year. What's going to happen next year? It's like, who knows? There's so many things that I think we don't know about that are in the are happening. AI, how is that going to change the world in the next 12 months? This year's just been unbelievable, and we're only just starting off. Really believe, if I don't know anything about anything, the one thing I do know is that AI is just starting off. What it's going to do, I believe, is absolutely unbelievable. It's going to be incredible. I heard the other day that AI is going to get rid of 55% of all jobs. Which you think, oh, that's terrible, but it's going to create 55% more jobs, just different jobs. We've got to be skilled in a different way. And that I think is really important for us all to know and understand. So anyway, on with my first 5 tips. First tip number one, and it really is, number one in every sense of the word. And often this particular tip is something that's missing. When I start working with businesses, this is missing from, I'd say, 99% of all the businesses that I've ever worked with in really just coming up to 30 years. On the 1st of May next year, I'll have been advising and helping businesses with their sales and marketing and helping them to grow for 30 years. Now, I'll be honest with you, you don't have to be too bright to notice, what's working and what's not, what's good and what isn't. And this is an absolute gem. Now, you're probably thinking, this is going to be amazing. It's fairly simple, actually. It's make sure that you understand your numbers. So many people don't, whether that's financial numbers like, the profit in your business. Can you tell me right now how much profit you've made this month? If you like most business, they go, oh, well, I'll have to have a look. How much did you make last month? What was the turnover? What were the costs? What was the cost of sales? All those key numbers. My accountancy friends tell me that most businesses don't even know how to read a balance sheet. This is your business. This is your education. This is so incredibly important. But it doesn't just stop with financial numbers. What about operational numbers? How long does it take you to make something or do something? Is there a way of doing it quicker? Is there a way of reducing the amount of time, money, and effort operations cost you? Operations being doing the work or making the things or selling the stuff that you actually sell. And lastly, and really importantly, your sales and marketing numbers. How many inquiries came in last month? Where did they come from? What were the underlying factors behind that? Factors like, how many people came to your website? How many emails did you send out? How many times did you post on social media? And so on and so forth. These are real key performance indicators in your business. And again, most businesses don't know what they are. So that's number one. I cannot stress that important, the importance of that enough. There's an old saying in business that numbers are the currency of business. And that is very, very true. So make sure you know your numbers. Secondly, is improving the numbers. One thing I can tell you about marketing is that all marketing works. Now, you may think, well, that's not true, but it is true. The fact of the matter is, though, that it doesn't work all the time. It only works some of the time. In fact, I'd even say it doesn't work most of the time. You can be on LinkedIn and winning hundreds of thousands or even millions of pounds, or you can be on LinkedIn winning nothing. And guess what? Most people are on LinkedIn and winning nothing. And the same is true in email marketing. I spoke to somebody the other day who's a potential client, they're not yet a client, and he said, oh yeah, we do email marketing. I said, oh great, what do you do? So we do a quarterly newsletter. I said, quarterly? He said, yeah. He said, well, we don't want to bombard people. Quarterly newsletter, give me a break. Just examine the word newsletter. This is not going to win your business. We've got to keep in touch with people on a regular basis. That is so incredibly important. So if you think about, if it's true that all marketing works and it doesn't work all the time, the key for you then is your numbers. So how can you improve the numbers? What can you do? Well, I could keep going on this subject for days, literally, but I'll just give you one example. Let's take LinkedIn, because a lot of people are on LinkedIn. And let's assume that you're not winning business on there. And let's assume that your numbers are something like these, because this is fairly typical. I'm connected to 1,500 people, and I post on there twice a week. When we look at numbers, those two posts, you're probably going to get somewhere between, 50 and 250 people actually see your post. Not click on it or anything like that, not go to your website or anything like that. They're just going to see it. They might see it in passing as they scroll past it. And the truth of the matter is, that ain't going to get you any business. So what's wrong? Well, you're not doing enough. That's the simple truth. You're not doing enough posting. You've not got enough people that you're connected to. You're not doing anything at all in terms of improving your profile, which is really important. You're not doing anything in terms of sharing and liking and commenting on other people's posts, which is also really important. You're not using groups, which is a great way to get messages out to thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of people, even hundreds of thousands of people. You're not doing that. You've not got a newsletter where you can set up a newsletter and immediately get followers, and LinkedIn, without you doing anything, will go and share that with thousands of people of your target market. You're not doing any of that. And that's just a few things. There's loads more things that you could be doing. You're not picking up the phone and calling people who you're connected to on LinkedIn. So, that's like 7 or 8 things that you need to start thinking about doing. Now, if you're thinking, well, that's going to take a load of time, the answer is yes. But there are ways of shortcutting that. There are ways of automating that. There's a ways of outsourcing that. You don't have to do it all yourself. And if you want to talk to me about utilizing our Results Mastery Hub to do all your social media posting, then all you need to do is get in touch with me. Now, okay, so as I said, we could go on about this, if you've got a website that's not winning any business, you've got a bit of an issue there. If you're not winning enough business or any business from referral, you've got a problem there. If you're doing email and that's not working, that needs seeing to. If you're doing phone calls and you're not getting enough business from the phone, then that needs seeing to as well. So something's going wrong if it's not working. Next one is to focus more time, money, and effort on growth. I see this all the time. People don't do enough. It's a bit like, people join the gym. You go down the gym and, you can see the people that are there on a regular basis. You can just look around the room and go, he goes to the gym on a regular basis. She goes to the gym on a regular basis. That guy over there, that fat bloke, probably doesn't. Now, okay, maybe that fat bloke's just started going and he's putting a lot of effort in, and all credit to him. I understand that. But the bottom line is by looking at somebody in terms of their physicality, 9 times out of 10, you can tell whether they're a regular gym user. And so it is in business. I can go and have a look at somebody's accounts and go, do you know what? They're not doing any marketing. Why? How can I do that? Well, I can just see it. The business is not growing, they're not putting any effort in, and they're just not doing enough. So you need to focus more time, more money, and more effort on marketing and selling if you want to grow your business. If you don't, that's fine. But this is about 5 tips to grow your business. So, there's a lovely saying, well, 2 sayings actually. Energy goes where focus flows, right? So you could translate that to money goes where focus flows. So if you focus on LinkedIn, that's going to get more money for you. If you focus on email, that's going to get more money for you. So money goes where focus flows. Now, there's another one that I'd like to just give you before I move on, and that is, what does the word focus stand for? A very good friend of mine once said it stands for follow one course until satisfied. I quite like that, the mnemonic there. Follow one course until satisfied. Now, whilst I've said that, I do believe that you shouldn't just think, right, okay, I'm just going to do LinkedIn. I'm not going to bother with the rest of them. Yes, follow one course. Decide what you want to focus on and focus on that, but keep the rest going as well, because they're all potential streams of income. It might be that right now we're going to focus on our website, and then in January, we're going to focus on LinkedIn. In February, we're going to nail Facebook and get that working for us, and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4, become better at business. This is a really simple one. If you want a business that's better, you want a business that's better, there's only one way. Well, there's not actually. There's probably a few ways you could. Yeah, there is a few ways, but the one way I want to talk to you about is this: become a better business owner. Become a better business owner. What have you done in the last year to become a better business owner? If you're not embracing, for example, AI, And I bet you, that you're not really fully. That's going to cost you money. That's going to cost you money. You need to keep yourself up to date with the latest technologies. We just do. It's as simple as that. So become a better business owner. Think about what are you going to do in order to improve yourself. Um, that's the end of it, really. Lastly, number 5, be consistent. Be consistent. Be consistent in what way? Well, right throughout what you do. Everything's important. When you're looking at your brand, you've got to be consistent. How many times have I seen a website with a business card that looks totally different to the website? And then I go on to LinkedIn and that looks different again. Then I go on to Facebook and it's different again. There's no brand. Um, what I call burning the brand. There's no brand identification. So we've got to keep things the same. We have to keep things the same. So let's really try and focus on that, on making sure that we keep our brand the same. Okay, so that's really, really important. Where are we? Yeah, so be consistent. Be consistent with your marketing. Be consistent on LinkedIn with search engine optimization, with your podcast. Nothing worse than somebody setting up a podcast and then not podcasting. Now I know, I've just told you I've not done a podcast for about 3 or 4 days now. I like to do at least 2 or 3 a week. So, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm definitely not. But if you're going to do it, and do it consistently. I think is really key. So that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you thought, do you know what? It's given me food for thought. Um, I would just say, if I can help you further, get in touch. My website you can see on the wall behind me. Let me just move my speaker over a little bit. There you go. So results-mastery.com. If you want to go there and book a meeting with me, we can do it online on Zoom. And we can talk about you, your business, and how and what it needs to do in order to give you a better business and what you need to do to become a better business owner. If you want to know about my hub, which is my digital marketing software, I believe it's the best in the world and I've used most of the top ones. Get in touch with me about that. If you want to find out about my results mastermind program, where I mentor you and we work as a mastermind group, again, get in touch. And lastly, if you want to know about Results Pro, which is my new service for startup and one-person businesses, get in touch about that. And do you know what? The cost is £10. It's £10. It's 2 cups of coffee a month. It's a couple of Starbucks, to gain access to some fantastic info that could easily make a startup 50 grand to 100 grand in additional income. So, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. So get yourself signed up for that. Again, just go to my website. You'll find it on there. And if you can't, get in touch and I'll point you in the right direction. Thanks very much for listening.